Hello viewers, this is Wagada Ronald, and in this video I'm going to take you through the solutions to O-level math for the paper of UNEB 2019 paper 1, and particularly we are going to go through questions 6 to 10 which I left in the previous video. So these are the questions I left in the previous video. This was question 6 for marks, question 7 also for marks. So this was question 8 for marks, question 9 for marks, and question 10 for marks. So basically these are the questions we are going to look through in this video. Now shall start with question 6. Question 6 says, Matovu is twice as old as Nancha. After 4 years, the sum of their ages will be 26. Find Nancha's age. And they give it for marks. So let's see how those 4 marks can be got. First of all, you have to make a sketch for the present age and the age in 4 years time. So we shall say, let Nancha's age be X. Now it means that at the present, Matovu's age will be twice. So from this statement that Matovu is twice as old as Nancha. So currently Matovu is twice as old as Nancha. That's why we get 2x from. Then after 4 years, it means that on Nancha's present age, you add their 4 years to get the age of Nancha after 4 years. And also on Matovu's current age, you add 4 years to get the years of Matovu after 4 years. And here they say that after 4 years, the sum of their ages will be 26. What does that mean? It means that when you add this plus this, you have to get 26. Now let's see how that is done. So I shall say x plus 4 plus 2x plus 4 will be equal to 26. Now when I simplify, 4 times plus 4 will give me 8. 1x plus 2x will give me 3x. So this 26 remains there. Then I'll take this one this side to come up with 26 minus 8 to give me 18. So 3x will be equal to 18. And when I divide by 3 on both sides, I'll come up with x being equal to 6. But remember, x was denoting Nancha's age which they want. Therefore, we shall say the present age of Nancha is 6 years. So basically, that's what they wanted in this question. And now let's see how marking is done. So the first mark will be on these algebraic expressions, and the second mark will be on substitution, because they told you that when you add this plus this and equate to 26 to come up with this equation, that's where the method mark comes from. Then the other mark will be on this step whereby you divide by 3 to come up with your answer which is equal to 6. So basically that's how the 4 marks can be awarded. So now shall go to question 7. Question 7 says, the figure below shows a circle with center O and angle BCD is equal to 35 degrees. Calculate part A, angle CDB, and part B, angle ADB, and they will give it 4 marks. So this is the circle with this is the center O. Now it means that because this is the center, it means that CD is the diameter of that circle. Therefore, when you draw 2 chords, they will meet and make an angle of 90. So that's why there is 90 here. They have told us that angle BCD is equal to 35 degrees, and they want the angle CDB. Angle CDB. So they want this angle. So this is the angle which they want. So first of all, you shall remember that this is a right angled triangle. Therefore, when you add this angle plus this angle plus this angle, you'll come up with 180 degrees. So angle CDB, which they want, plus this 35 degrees, which is here, plus 90, which is there, will be equal to 180 degrees. Now when I simplify, I'll come up with this plus this being equal to 125, and when I take everything the other side, I'll come up with angle CDB being equal to 180 minus 125. And when I use the calculator, I'll come up with the required angle as 55 degrees. So basically that's what they wanted in part A. Now for part B they wanted angle ADB. So angle ADB, ADB. So basically they want this angle. So for that angle, you have to remember that these are angles on a straight line. You can either say angles on a straight line, or you use the exterior angle property, whereby this plus this will be equal to that. So any of the two works, and we shall see how both are used. Now let's start with the exterior angle property. We shall say angle ADB will be equal to 35 degrees plus 90 degrees, and when you simplify, you'll come up with 125 degrees as the required angle. On the other hand, you can also use angles on a straight line, whereby you say this angle plus this angle will be equal to 180 degrees, and we already know this angle is 55, so it means that the angle ADB plus 55 will be equal to 180 degrees. When I simplify and make angle ADB the subject, I'll come up with angle ADB as 125 degrees. So basically that's the solution they wanted in this question. Now let's see how marks are awarded. So first of all will be this: angles of a triangle add up to 180, and then A1 for simplifying to get the required angle. Then this one is for the exterior angle property, and this for simplifying to get the required angle. So basically that's how the 4 marks were awarded. So now we shall go to question 8. Question 8 says, solve the simultaneous equations. So this is the pair of simultaneous equations: 2y minus 3x being equal to 13 and 3y plus x being equal to 3, and I give it 4 marks. So let's see how this solution is done. So first of all, you have to write these equations as they are, and after that you will say bring this value here and bring this value here. So what does that mean? It means that you multiply 3 throughout this equation and also multiply 2 throughout these equations. I think we have understood what I've done. I've said this coefficient here will be brought here, and this coefficient will be brought here. Then now this one which has been brought here will be multiplied throughout this equation, and also this one which has been put here will multiply throughout this equation. When we do that, we are going to come up with this. For example, 3 times 2y will give me 6y, 3 times negative 3x will give me negative 9x, 3 times 13 will give me 39. Similarly, 2 times 3y will give me 6y, 2 times x will give me 2x, and 2 times 3 will give me 6. Now after that, we shall subtract these two equations. Now for example, when I say 6y minus 6y will give me 0, so that's why there is nothing here. Then negative 9x minus 2x will give me negative 11x, and here 39 minus 6 will give me 33. So when I divide both sides by negative 11, I'll come up with x being equal to negative 3. So now that I've got x, I'll have to also get the corresponding value of y. So I'll substitute x either in this equation or this equation. So let me choose this equation. So when I substitute x here, I'll come up with this part. So where there is x, I've put there negative 3, which is the value of x. And when I collect like terms, this negative 3 will come this side to become negative 3 minus negative 3 to give me positive 6. And when I divide both sides by 3, I'll come up with y being equal to 2. So basically those are the two values of the values of x and y which they wanted you to solve. Now let's see how the marking can be done. So the first mark will be to subtract to come up with this, and this, and lastly to simplify to come up with the value of x. Then here the mark will be substitution, and here the last mark will be simplifying to come up with y equal to 2. So basically that's how the 4 marks could be awarded. So now we shall go to question 9. Question 9 says, the table below shows the ages in years of 40 teachers in a school. So these are the ages and these are the number of teachers. Then they want you to draw a cumulative frequency curve, in brackets OGIVE, for the data, and they give it 4 marks. Now let's see how those 4 marks can be got. So first of all, you have to draw your table and feed in, because for you to draw a cumulative frequency curve, you have to get the values of cumulative frequency and values of class boundaries, because an OGIVE is the graph of cumulative frequency against upper class boundaries. So you have to get the cumulative frequency by adding, so this from the column of frequency, so 2 will be put here. Now this plus this will give me 6. I think let's show it here. 2 plus 4 will give me 6, which is here, and 6 plus 8 will give me 14, and 14 plus 10 will give me 24. 24 plus 7 will give me 31. 31 plus 5 will give me 36. 36 plus 3 will give me 39, and 39 plus 1 will give me 40. So basically that's how they generate the values of cumulative frequency. For the class boundaries, you have to first look at these 2 values here. So if you look at 34 and 35, the difference between the 2 is 1. 35 minus 34 is 1. And when I divide 1 by 2, I'll come up with 0.5. What does that mean? It means that for you to get the upper class boundary, you have to add 0.5 to upper class limit. And similarly, to get the lower class boundaries, you have to subtract 0.5 from the lower class limit. So let's do that. For example, now for upper class boundaries, if I add 0.5 on all these values, I'll come up with these values, and those will be the values for the upper class boundary. For the lower class boundary, if I keep on subtracting 0.5 from these values, I'll come up with these values, and those will be my lower class boundaries. Now next will be to draw the OGIVE. Now before you draw the OGIVE, you have to know the scale. Now how do you get the scale? I believe now you have your graph paper ready, because we are going to go through this solution step by step. Now before anything, you have to leave 1 centimeter on this side and draw a vertical line using a long ruler. Do the same, leave 1 centimeter below and draw a horizontal line. Now after that, remember to put these arrows to show the axis continuity. Now after that, you are going to demarcate those axes, skipping 2 centimeters each. So I think you can see from here, TS 2 centimeters, 2 centimeters, 2 centimeters, like that. So do the same until you reach up. Do the same also for the horizontal axis. Demarcate leaving intervals of 2 centimeters. Now how do we get our scale? We know that the expression for getting the scale is given by, let's first remove these lines. So the expression for getting the scale is given by highest value minus lowest value over the number of spaces. So when we come back here, the number of spaces which will be, first of all, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So that means that we have 11 spaces on the vertical. Then for the horizontal, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and we have 9 spaces on the horizontal. So that is going to help us very much in this question. For example, now next will be highest value minus lowest value. For this cumulative frequency, highest value is 40 and the lowest value is 2. So we shall come here and say, to get the scale, we shall say highest value, which is 40, minus lowest value, which is 2, over the number of spaces, which is 11. Now 40 minus 2 will be equal to 38. Over 11, we will come up with 3.4545 recurring. Now from there, it means that now that I've got this one, I have to look for a suitable scale. A suitable scale is got from this table of values. This is 1, 2, 5, 10, and these are the multiples. So you say, to get this value, you say 1 times 5 to get this, 2 times 5 to get that, 5 times 5 to get that. So that's how they generate these values, and this table is very useful in getting the scale which you want. Now, how do you get the scale? Look for this value 3.4545. Where does it lie? From 2 we go to 5. That means that this 3.4545 is beyond 2, therefore our scale will be 5. That is why we put here that vertical scale is 5. For the horizontal scale, we just count the class boundaries. For example, if I come here and I'll count, so I'll count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So those are 9, but remember we also saw that our number of spaces on the horizontal were 9. Therefore it means that that's demarcations work. Now that we have got the scale, we are going to draw our ogive. First of all, like I said, draw your vertical lines. This is a vertical line and also a horizontal line, leaving 1 centimeter on either side. Now the next will be demarcating, leaving intervals of 2 centimeters. Let's do that first, both vertical and horizontal. Okay, so now we have finished demarcating. Next will be to put our values. So you start with this 29.5, then 34.5, like that, 39.5, 44.5, 49.5, 54.5, 59.5, 64.5, and 69.5. That is the horizontal. Now for the vertical, we do the same, we saw our scale as 5, so we shall say 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, and 40. So now we have demarcated. Next is to label. We have to label our axes. So horizontal will be upper class boundary and vertical will be cumulative frequency. So I've done that, and the next will be now to plot. So we shall plot upper class boundary corresponding to the cumulative frequency. For example, this 34.5 corresponds to 2. So on 34.5, look for 2 here and plot that point. For 39.5, look for 6 and plot that point. Then for 44.5, look for 14 and plot. Do the same until you finish all the points. Now next, remember, an ogive, we don't join points using a ruler. What we do, we join points using a smooth curve. Your curve has to be smooth. So when I join those points, I'll come up with such a curve. And basically that's what they wanted us to draw. Now let's see how marking can be done. So first of all, the values for you to fill these values for cumulative frequency, you get that 1 mark. The next is for the axes and uniform scale. So these axes with the uniform scale will be another mark. Then next will be to plot. For you to plot these points correctly, all of them, you get the 4th mark. And next will be for you to use freehand. Note that word, it should be freehand, and the curve has to be smooth. So that's how you get all those 4. So now we shall go to question 10. Question 10 says that given that the 2x2 matrix of x3 4y multiplied by the column matrix of 2 5 is equal to the column matrix of negative 1 18, find the values of x and y, and they give it 4 marks. So let's see how those 4 marks can be got. First of all, this is the given expression which is here. The first thing to do is to multiply. So multiply a 2x2 matrix by a column matrix, shall say. Remember, you multiply row by column, so it means that x times 2 will give me 2x plus 3 times 5 to give me 15. Then do the same for the lower matrix for this by that, so it should be 4 times 2 to give me 8 and y times 5 to give me 5y, so being equal to the column matrix on this right hand side. Now next is to equate. When you equate two matrices, it means that this upper part here for this matrix will be equal to this, which is therefore 2x plus 15 equal to negative 1. And when we simplify, take this one the other side, we shall come up with 2x being equal to negative 16. And when we make x the subject, we shall come up with x being equal to negative 8. Do the same. When you equate this with this, you'll come up with this, 8 plus 5y being equal to 18. And when you take 8 the other side, we shall come up with 5y being equal to 10. Therefore y will be equal to 2. So basically those are the two values they wanted. Now let's see how marks can be awarded. So first of all, multiply. The first mark will come on this part whereby you multiply the left hand side. So multiplying this by this to come up with this, you get your M1. Then the next second mark will come from equating. So when I equate this with this, I'll come up with this, and also equate this with this to come up with this. So these two equations, this and this, will give you this mark. The next is when you simplify this equation to come up with x, you'll get your A1 third mark, and when you simplify this to come up with y, you get your other fourth mark. So basically that's how the 4 marks were awarded. So I'm going to leave you with the 2 questions, but this time these 2 questions will be section B questions, and that is question 11 and question 12 of the UNEB paper for paper 1 2019 Olevel. So each question will be 12 marks. So basically those are the 2 questions you should try out, and the solutions to these 2 questions will be available in the next video. So if you have not yet subscribed, please subscribe to my channel by clicking on that subscribe button below this video.